Legend of the Guardians, The Owls of Gahoo is the next movie we are looking at in this Zack Snyder retrospective, and let's talk about it. Legend of the Guardians is Zack Snyder's very first animated film that he directed after he did Watchmen. Now, Watchmen was absolutely incredible. 300 was absolutely fantastic as well. And then Dawn of the Dead remake, absolutely fantastic. So to see him do three very different films, different genres. So obviously you have like the horror genre, and then you have the sort of historic event in 300, and then you have a comic book movie. Now you have an animated film, a movie that is about a legend of the Guardians, which are owls of Gahoo. It's literally in the title. I don't know why I explained it like that, because it's in the freaking title, man. But anyway, so it's about like owls who are guardians, and then there's bad owls, and they fight. You know, this adventure story. So it's very cool to see Zack actually dive in to different genres of film and do them like this, because sometimes a filmmaker can get, you know, stuck in the one genre, like a horror genre, and then you get known for just making horror, and it's like, well, can you do something else other than horror, or is that it? Or you get stuck in the comic book sort of, you know, genre, where you're sitting there making comic book movie after comic book movie. You know, it's awesome to see them, you know, spread and actually showcase their talents in other sort of genres. So to see Zack actually tackle an animated film is absolutely fantastic. Now, as for the movie itself, there is one thing that I have to say about this movie. The animation is absolutely incredible. And, you know, man, there are some really good shots. And of course, Zack brings the slow-mo into the animated film, and it works in this film. Especially, there's like this beautiful shot when our main character that we are following goes into like this sort of swirl with water, and he's flying through, and it's this slow-mo. It is an absolute gorgeous animated shot. It is absolutely gorgeous. And then there's one with fire. It is absolutely stunning. Like, I love anime, and I love animated movies as well. And when the animation is done right, and they've given time, you know, to perfect it, you get shots like this. And Zack did an incredible job at directing the animated feature here, and directing the shots to how he wanted them to look with the slow-mo, because this film is freaking gorgeous, man. Zack Snyder is just so good at making good-looking films, man. He is so good at making films that are just so freaking awesome to look at with your eyes. This is one of those movies, and to do it in animated form just shows you the range of the ability this director has to showcase you that not only can he make a live action film good, but he can make an animated film good. He can make a horror movie look good. You know, he can make a comic book movie look incredible on the screen. And that's what he's really good at. And this movie is spectacular to watch because of that. It's just absolutely incredible. The designs are on point. You know, you believe that these are ours. Like the face shields, like the helmets, you know, the talons. Just everything about it just looked incredible. It really did. Now, as for the story itself, I believe this is adapted from some books as well. I've never read the books, so I can't tell you what it's like between the book and the movie, whether it's, you know, it does the book justice or it doesn't, or it elevates it and does it better. I don't know. Never read them, so I can't comment on that. But as for the story itself, it does have some generic stuff in it that we, you know, obviously we know about. Like, obviously we have the brother dynamic in here, you know. One brother feels like he's getting treated poorly by the other brother because the other brother's showing off and thinks he's more talented and that. So obviously that's going to drive him to where he then feels like, oh, I feel welcomed here. I feel like, yes, this is where I belong. And that's why he turns evil. So you have that storyline in there, and I would have liked to see that, you know, explored a bit more. I think that is one of the criticisms I have of this movie, is that isn't explored enough. Now, obviously, this is a family-friendly movie, so this is, like, more targeted towards the kids' side, I would say. But nevertheless, I would have liked to see a bit more of that, especially with the ending. You know, the mother and father just kind of shrug it off like, yeah, man, we're not even going to mourn him or anything like that. I would have liked to see a bit more of that, like, you know, from the family themselves, of like, you know, their son and brother is kind of like even though he went down there, like, why did he go that route? And they never like questioned it. So to me, I would have just liked to dive into that bit more, and I think that would have given a bit more emotional impact as well for adults at least, and like, you know, adolescents, to really grasp onto that concept and really understand that like these brothers really are falling apart, why they're falling apart. Because it's kind of like this one thing that's like, well, he's not really that talented compared to you, but you feel like he is and he's getting better treatment, but you don't see that, which is a bit of a shame. So, you know, that to me was a bit of a hinder on the film as well. The pacing of the film's fine. You know, it's 90 minutes long. You don't feel it. You don't feel like it's 2 hours or anything like that. So it's paced really, really well. The dialogue is decent. You know, obviously it's, like I said, it's directed towards a different, you know, audience. It's not directed to me. So the dialogue doesn't need to be, you know, this insane Oscar level dialogue where I'm sitting there like, man, that is some deep thought that I need to go into for that piece of scenery. No, that's not what it is. But you look, it's great to see a lot of Australians and English and stuff like that in this movie. Voice acting, I thought that was absolutely fantastic. I think all the voice acting is great. I really do. I think the emotion is brought to the screen. So when these characters are on screen, you know, you feel the quirkiness of a character when he's supposed to be quirky. You feel the scared character as well. You can feel it and see it in the voice. So when you're doing anime and you're doing voice acting, it's so much like different because you don't have those facial expressions. So you got to try and make that come across through your voice. And to be able to get that passion and that, you know, to elevate that scene to be believable, that I believe that this owl is actually talking and this owl is feeling emotion right now, you need to hear that and to be able to feel that through the voice. So they do a fantastic job here with the voice acting. It's top tier, so I have no problems with that as well. But it's just, this film's just not directed at me. I like it. I don't hate this film, but I just feel like story and narrative wise, it's kind of like, you know, something it's kind of something I've seen before. You know, this person, brother turns evil, they get kidnapped, they go there, they escape, they go find the heroes. The heroes come and fight. It's a trap. Then this guy now has to become the hero and save everyone. And, you know, he becomes, you know, this legend himself. So, you know, you have all that. Obviously, we know the villain, they don't explore the villain motive. So the villain is very one-dimensional, but that's okay because, like I said, this is for kids more so than adults. So I'm not expecting, you know, a Darth Vader level villain where it's like, bro, this villain is a tragic villain. You know, I personally like to have my villains explored in movies because it gives them a three-dimensional character and that you can latch onto when they have motive, when they feel like they're the hero of the story. I feel like there was an opportunity to make the villain feel like he was the hero of the story. And, you know, he's doing this for this reason, but it's kind of just like, yeah, he's just after world domination. That's really all he is. He just wants to take over all the owls. But, you know, by kidnapping him and making him do these things and get these little orbs. But, you know, it's a kid's film. So you got to take that into consideration. You got to take, like, this isn't going to be this deep story that's like, oh my word, what a villain. That's an all-time villain. No, it's not for that. It's for kids to be able to watch. And look, at the end of the day, what this film does on screen, when you're watching it, it's visually pleasing. It is spectacular. Some of the shots, like I said, were absolutely incredible. So to be able to do that with the colors, man, this is a colorful movie as well. To be able to explore that and put that on the big screen, you're going to be able to get the kids' attention a lot more because there's so many things moving and happening at the same time with the colors that they're always seeing something different, something new. So you got to take that into consideration as well. You know, the music, the score was great as well. Look, I don't hate this movie. It's probably my least favorite Zack Snyder movie, but that's just because it's not targeted to me and it's not, you know, for me. But look, you still got to give him the man credit because to be able to do this on your fourth film, to come out and go, you know, I'm going to do an animated film as well, to go from those different genres to making like these dark, gritty films to now like, bam, here you go. Here's a family-friendly one. Like, that's talent, man. And that's what Zack does really, really well. So for me, I don't hate this film. I don't hate it by any means. I like this film. I could sit down and watch it with my kids. I could easily do that. You know, you know, the action's good as well. Like, I like the fight sequences. I like the use of the slow-mo in the fight. So, you know, there's a lot of entertainment in this film to get out of it. Enough for an adult to get out of it to sit down and watch with your kids. And that's all you can ask for this type of film. Like, that's all you can ask. So let me know what you guys think of this movie. Where do you guys rank it in the Zack Snyder movies? Do you, is it up there? Maybe it's up there for you. Maybe you guys absolutely love this, and that would be freaking awesome. But for me, it's not my favorite, but I don't hate it. So let me know what you guys think. Smash that like button, click subscribe, and I'll see you guys next video. Until then, stay safe and peace out.